Greetings, folks. This is Mason Weaver. Welcome to the Mason Weaver Show. Um, this is Veterans Day. Veterans Day, November the 11th, 2021. And it's the day that the nation pauses for a minute and think about the sacrifices of our young people for the good of the nation. I have an opinion of on Veterans Day. I sit down and think about my military career and those that served with me. And I want to kind of talk about that just to kind of put things in perspective from someone who went through it. Um, we're loyal to our country. We are loyal to our flag. We are loyal to our Constitution. Most veterans understand they did not give their oath up when they got discharged. That when they stood there as young men entering manhood for a very few months themselves, stood there and pledged to defend this country, its flag, its culture, its constitution against all intruders, foreign and domestic. Those some solemn words. June the 11th, 1968, I stood outside of St. Louis, Missouri Induction Center. Those buses lining up, leaving home. And I raised my right hand and I said those words. I did not ever give that up. That was my pledge to myself. It was my pledge to my colleagues. It's my pledge to my family. And that pledge is still going on today. And most veterans understand that. Most of you non-veterans do not understand that. When we see our government attacking us, ridiculing us, when we see the culture being taught and led to hate America and hate our flag and our moral values, we see our national elected officials continue to criticize the United States of America. We see the organizations being well funded by our enemies to declare our nation is a racist country and a country against other people. We understand what you're doing. And we're not going to stand quietly by and watch you do that. We win whenever we show up. We win whenever we stand up. There are forces in our government that hates our government. And all it takes, folks, is us to show up. Just show up at those polls. Don't allow someone to take leadership over your life and your country because they have a title, because they have a degree or an association. I don't care if they're a scientist. You don't believe the science. You believe the sense. I don't care if they're educated, got a PhD in 1, 2, 3. I don't care if they present themselves as authority, being proclaimed that by someone else. I don't care about that. We stood up individually and we pledged our life to defend the Constitution of the United States. And now we have a situation where our government is regulating our businesses to the point of telling your business when you can hire someone and fire someone and when they can take vacation and maternity leave, how much you're going to pay them on maternity leave, how much you're going to pay your employees per hour. The government is telling the business how to run their business, and they tax the government as if they were, tax the business as if they were a partner. The Constitution. I have a right to open a business up. And if I grow that business to be successful, the government should not interfere. My home, I have a beautiful house here. I pay taxes to the county. I pay taxes to the city. I pay taxes to the federal government. I pay taxes on every blade of grass I plant. I pay taxes on the fertilizer I used to grow my grass. Every tree I bought, I pay taxes for. Every coat of paint I put on this house, I pay taxes for it. For as long as I own it, I maintain my neighborhood. I pay my school taxes with no kids in school. I homeschool my kids, so why can I get a tax break on that? But you take my taxes for everything I do. I put carpet down, I pay taxes. I pay taxes for the light and the water. I got that. Understand that. But why is it that when I die and my home is paid for, why do you then tax my kids? Why do you then tax my grandkids for assuming the home that they were raised in? Why do you give my family a tax bill before I get buried? I'm not your slave. My property belongs to me. And then you take my Social Security. You force me to give you part of my salary. You force my employer to give you part of my salary. You tax me at about 12.5% of my income the whole time I'm working. And you put that money in your little lockbox somewhere where you use it as you see fit. And then you regulate what my money does. You regulate how much I get back. It's my money. You tax me when I give it to you. Don't forget that. You tax me when I give it to you. And you hold it for 40 years, 25 years, however long I'm working. And you collect interest on that money. And then when I retire, you decide how much you're going to give me. You decide if I'm too skillful at what I do, that I still make money after retirement. And by the way, you determine what age I can retire. I'm your slave. You determine what age I'm going to retire. And then if I am not too skillful in my after retirement days, I can make enough money. You determine if I make too much money, you're going to keep some of my earned money already. And then you tax me again when you give me back my money. And then if I die, you look at my wife and you will say, well, okay, you get Social Security and your husband gets Social Security. We're going to give you the biggest one. We worked for that money. The concept, we worked for that money. We put that money in the bank ourselves. That's our money. You taxed me when you took it. You taxed me when I give it back. You didn't give me any interest on the money. And if I die, you're going to determine which pot of money you give to my wife. Why can't you get both combined money? Because we work for that. It's our money. It was mandated that we give it to you. What can we put that money in the savings account? You want to protect society from Social Security. You want to make us secure in case something happens, in case people are too stupid to take our money. And then when the wife dies, you absorb the rest of that money yourself. It doesn't go to our kids. Very little bit. You determine what that little bit is. You determine, oh, we pay for college. No, give me my money. Same thing with almost anything we do. Everything we do, government, you touch and control. There's nothing we do every day. There should be something. We're a free nation, a free country. Shouldn't there be something you do every day free of your government? Everything is regulated. As a matter of fact, unregulated is a nasty word. It's an unregulated industry. It's an unregulated business, as if that's bad. We are forced to comply to every order you make. We stand up at school board meetings and you declare us terrorists. You make comments like, well, our children need protection. Our children. No, they're not your children. They're the parents' children. And you actually get offended when we show up to have an idea about our children. Well, not just the veterans are seeing it now. All of us see it now. And we're going to have to start doing something about it. We're going to have to start pushing back on you guys. You guys divided by our differences, but thanks to this last administration y'all hate so much, in the Black community, 72% of Black people are now in middle class. The Black unemployment rate was at a record low. The Black-owned businesses at a record high. Federal money to Black colleges, a record high. Black folks are graduating with real degrees and marketable degrees. They're now getting jobs. They're going to work. And you know what, folks? That 72% of Black middle class, they're seeing that gas prices go up also. They're driving to work every day like everybody else. They got a 401k program they're worried about like everybody else. They see the supply chain being disrupted only from things made overseas, not anything made in America. They see the government coming against them and everything they want to take care of their family. They see it also. Everyone sees it now. So now black folks and white folks, Hispanic folks and short people, tall people, East Coast and West Coast, we all see you are the problem, but we are the power. We see you cheating on our elections. We see you playing around with the vote. We see you lying and programming us, other folks to lie. We see the rhetoric from your folks. We see you enriching your friends and impoverishing your enemies. We see that. We understand that. We're going to start with the family, folks. We're going to start with the relationships. That's why I start the group, Raunchy Secrets Only Wives Should Know. Because it starts, folks, if we got to get back to that male-female, it is the key. Because unless you give a man a reason to die for you, and that woman gives that man a reason to live, if a man's going to die for you and the female's going to live for you, that is a family, and there's no power on the planet that can overcome that. If you raise your kids as if you're thinking about your great grandkids, ladies, your choice of your boyfriend is your choice to who your kid's daddy gonna be. If you understand that, if guys knew that the woman they're dating, they have to give their life for, they'd pick the ladies no easier. If we had that solid fact of male and female, the need we have for each other, not the desire we have for each other, difference, the need that we have for each other, then we will not allow anyone else to interfere with that need. See, folks, that's the first take away that need, the desire to be with each other, natural instincts of man and women. They have to take that away and make that light. So every TV program has the woman strong and loud and aggressive, and the men weak. We got men wearing onesies and twosies now. We got the little bond attached on your head. If you got that in your head, fellas, take it off. Just take it off. They got women now pretending that they're grown men, speaking like men. I call them sir. So now we cannot relate with each other as men and women, but we do make love to each other as if we're just objects of sexual gratification. So now the woman becomes unprotected because you're treating men like men treat women. You- you're trying to outman the man, and nobody gets satisfied. It's not beneficial for society for women to be so available to men and require nothing of the man. It's no benefit of your children when you're not raising your kids because you're too busy working and you allow the government and TV to raise your kids. So we have to get back to this understanding that we need each other. We honestly need each other. We are created to be with each other. The first thing God did for man was make a woman. We need you. We desire you. We will die for you, but we will not be led by you. And you're made to be seduced, whether you believe it or not. Ladies, you're made to be seduced. So here's the scenario. You're tough, you're strong, you're educated, you're domineering, but you're made to be seduced. So we're still going to seduce you, but now we don't have to take care of you. Now we don't have to provide security for you. Now you're just as strong as we are, but we're still going to seduce you, ladies. And it becomes a game for us, and we win the game, but society is hurt by that. If you allow us to run these games on you and take advantage of your beauty without paying the cost, which is our life, that's the cost. The cost is our life, not our money, not our cars, not satisfying you. The cost of being with you should be our life. We should dedicate our life to you because everything you see around you, ladies, everything you see around you was created by a man to please a woman. And we're made differently. And I know women can build too. Please don't tell me that. Don't tell me that women could drive a 18-wheeler truck across country and back it up at 80,000 tons. Don't tell me that. No, I got it. I'm not saying you can do it. I'm saying that the division of labor and responsibilities determines the culture of society. So yes, mom and dad are both working. Women are CEOs. Women are military officers now. They're fighter pilots. I got you. I got you. But you tell me who in the heck is raising your kids now? If mom and dad is going to go to war together, then the children have a better chance of being orphans. Ladies, you're made for something and you're going against your nature. You're made to feed and nourish babies. Your whole body is made to feed and nourish babies. And I know that it's outside what you want to do now. But if you and I were on a desert island somewhere, or island, isolated island somewhere, and you just gave birth to a 1 week old child, and one of us had to die. One of us had to die hunting or fighting or whatever it is. Whose death would also ensure the baby's death? Whose death would ensure the baby cannot eat? This is a 1 week old child. Nature wanted you to live because you're the only one that can feed that 1 week old child. Now, I don't want to hear you women talk about we have baby formula now. That's why I made that story on a deserted island where all you have is yourself. You are made to feed your babies. And men choose you. Honestly, ladies, we don't do it on purpose. We don't sit back and think about it. But we choose you based on your body's ability to feed babies. We lack the visual view of you and your ability to feed babies. That's what excites us. You, on turn, look at men and you look at our strength, our intelligence, our height. You look at our wisdom, understanding of nature. You look for that because that makes you safe. That's why you have victory parades in the military. That's why we have cheerleaders. You inspire us. We desire you. Now, this society now has got that turnaround, and we let them do that. We must stand up. Join us on Raunchy Secrets Only Wives Should Know. It's on the website godcommandsex.com. And I may put a logo up here for you to look at. There it is. You can take a look at it, see what you think about it. But join us, folks. I would play a little video about what we do. Just an introduction for you, and you can determine. But go to our site. We're on Facebook on the original Raunchy Secrets Only Wives Should Know. The book is out now. That's the copy. That's the cover of the book. Let's start a conversation about relationships. Here's the video. Only a few seconds long. Be right back with you. This will not stop until you and I stop this. It has to start with the relationship between men and women. I lost my wife a few years ago, not even 2 years ago. And I had 35 years of marriage with her, 45 years of knowing her, well over half my life, 99% of my adult life. I thought everyone had the type of marriage that I had. I'm single now for the first time in 50 years, and I am stunned, I'm alarmed, I'm dismayed of the relationship, the mental relationship. It is a hostile environment now, and we're all scrumming around trying to get something from each other without giving away nothing. We lie to you, ladies, to lie with you, because lying to you works. Because in the old days, so you had this thing called a father and brothers and cousins. But you demanded to be free. You demanded to be equal, whatever that means. You demanded to go to work, whatever that means. And your uncles and your cousins and your sons and your husbands have been told to leave you the heck alone. And so now when other men come into your life and try to talk to you, to lie with you, you do not have the radar to determine who's good or bad because your daddy is no longer talking to this guy and your brother's no longer talking to this guy because he's doing the same thing to that guy's sister also. So you're vulnerable. You think you're strong, but you're vulnerable. You're not happy now. Men did not demand that you go to work. Men did not demand you be liberated and free. You demanded that. Okay, we gave it to you. And now you're scared and you're worried and you're lonely. And I'm at that age, and I'm 71. I'm 71 now. And the women that I'm talking to now, and I'm seeing and knowing, I'm not dating 1,000 women, but the women I know at our age, girl, the reality hits you at our age. It hits you. And now it's become a little desperation. We got to stop this. We apologize for how we've been treating you. You got to take a deep breath and let the good guys come to you. Good guys are boring to you. I got you. They're boring to you. There's no challenge because your instinct is to make bad good. That's your instincts. You kiss the boo boo. It's okay. I understand the instincts. And the good guy is not a challenge. He shouldn't be challenged. Love should be effortlessly done. It should not be a contest. No man wants to be with a woman he has to win 2 out of 3 arguments before dinner every night. And you don't want to have the frustration of having a man completely not understand you, but he's still with you. All the political drama we have in this country, all the business drama we have in this country, all the stress, strikes, shortages, riots, demonstrations, protests, all this stuff comes down to one thing: men and women. If you pull this back just a little bit, you pull back and start relating to each other, respecting each other as they are. If we do that, we turn this thing around pretty quickly. But we have to first look at each other and not, I was talking to a guy, man, at a coffee shop. Man, he seemed to think that there is strife between men and women. He seemed to think that there's a battle of the sexes. It's not a battle. It's a war. It's not a battle. I'm asking you guys to join us. Let's start a conversation. I do not have all the answers. I have very few of the answers, but I bet you do. So join us at leavetheplantation.org. That's our main site for all my activities. Leavetheplantation.org. Let's start a conversation. This Veterans Day, it's time for the veterans to stand up and act right. It's time for us to really understand each other and deal with each other. Uh, this is Mason. Stay right or be left. Eternity is a long time to be wrong. Folks, you guys take care. I'm going to do another video as I thought about doing it. That thing that popped up was not what I wanted to pull up. I'm gonna play the video I had to end this with. Too many things on my clipboard here. I need an editor. Anybody want to volunteer? I'm gonna do that. All right, guys, take care. Take care.